And welcome to the K Files. Welcome back, JP. Um, you know, we were saying earlier we want to ask for tips, and we want to. I had somebody tell me at an event yesterday that I'll talk about a little bit that it was a women's shooting competition.
Oh, wow.
Law enforcement.
Okay.
Law enforcement women only. We're the only ones, it's in Edgecombe County, we're the only ones that have this in North Carolina. Other states have this, but we're the only ones in North Carolina. This is the second year.
This is the first I've heard of it.
And I had somebody tell me yesterday, I'm telling you, I do watch the K-Files. He said, but I have to watch it on YouTube because I'm at work. But he said, there were some men there. I absolutely applaud y'all for what you're doing and trying to, solve murders. And he just went on and on and on. And I said, a week does not go by that I don't hear about this show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It just don't.
I see people all the time, even down around Bailey, Middlesex area, that will chime in every once in a while. Hey, saw you on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, saw you,
Yeah.
Different things about the show. And, so we do have an established following.
Yes, we do. But yesterday, it was at the Edgecombe County Training Center. Have you been there?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Well, I hadn't been in, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. So when I went, I was like, oh my gosh, it's been added to and just enhanced, and it is a phenomenal
Just outside
facility.
Pine Tops.
Yes.
Yeah, my oldest brother Jerry wired it.
Yes. It is
Nice place.
very nice. It belongs actually to the Sheriff Clay Atkinson, and you see that with all the signage. It is for his deputies, his training of his law enforcement. But other law enforcement gets invited to do that. They can shoot there, but only law enforcement, as far as I see. But anyway, it's a wonderful facility. The women had a ball. I interviewed several of the women. Why are you a law enforcement officer? As a female, what made you do this? And I also asked them, about the event. Do you look forward to this event? Do you oh, yes, the camaraderie. We're meeting female officers like us that we didn't know from other agencies. Franklin County was there, Wilson Police Department was there, Nash County, Edgecombe County, and several others. I mean, it was so many that I don't know how many agencies were totally there. But it was just a great, it was from like 8 in the morning to 2. And they just had a ball. It was a competition.
Were you able to do some shooting yourself?
No, I was so busy. We were trying to round up and interview and film and do all that. So I was so busy, I was not able to do any. But I would love to have done it, and I think I can go when I want to. But I'll have to do that. But anyway, it was just a great, to see the camaraderie among the female officers.
Well, when I got in law enforcement
just
30 years ago, there was about 25, 28 people in my basic class.
Mm-hmm.
There was only 2 females. And you stop and look now, it's nothing to see a Rocky Mount police officer, a female that's a female, or
That's
a
right.
Nash County deputy that's a female, or a North Carolina State Trooper that's, it's more widely accepted. We don't think anything of it now.
Right.
Where 30, 40 years ago, not that we did then, it's just not something that was a norm.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that that's going on. And those girls were tough. They did a pistol shooting, and then they had another competition that was rifle. And they had to shoot pink balloons. And they had on pink shirts and all kinds of things. So it was just kind of a neat thing. So, just wanted to let you know that Edgecombe County hosted a great thing that nobody else in the state does. So I thought that was kind of cool. And, I asked them also, do you feel like, here you are with all these male law enforcement officers, like you just said, and here you are female. So how does that go? And she said, oh, I'm just as tough as they are, and I let them know it. She said, I can do with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
They had to get down on the ground as if they were, and shoot from the ground.
Prone position.
Yeah, they had to do that, and it was just very interesting. So, anyway.
I've seen a lot of female troopers over the years. I wouldn't want them to put their hands on me now.
Yeah.
I mean, they will go toe to toe with you,
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, they
And
can
I'm
be
sure
tough.
Rocky Mount has them. I'm sure Nash County has. They will hold their own.
I found out real quick. I thought it was an individual, and it was an individual competition, but each agency sent a team of 4 or 5. And I found out real quick. Last year, the girl from Rocky Mount said, last year we won. Rocky Mount Police Department took everything. I said, well, good for you. I said, so are you telling me it's a team thing, it's an agency thing? Oh, yes. We want the police department to win over Nash County, Edgecombe County, Franklin County. We want to be the winners. I said, so it's a team thing, not an individual you thing. She said, well, it's me too, but we take pride in our agency, and we want our agency to take home the most. So that's kind of how it went. So anyway, and we were talking about promotions a little bit earlier. Would you agree that we had 27 promotions of Rocky Mount Police Department officers over the Dunn Center in a ceremony? That's a lot of promotions at one time.
It is a lot of promotions, but you got to factor in the size of the agency, turnover rate. You know, law enforcement is known to be a revolving door type agency. You've constantly got people applying, constantly getting hired, and about 5 years in, they realize, you know what, this is not for me. So they're constantly, that's right, they're constantly in and out. Then you have people that kind of get in and they're being promoted, and then you have people that are ending their career. So there's constantly a trickle of people leaving law enforcement.
Right.
Well, to keep it's called continuity of operation. To keep people where they need to be in a leadership role, you have to have promotions.
Yes, you do.
So with an agency the size of Rocky Mount, 27, I would say that's pretty much a norm. With the patrol, I've seen 50, 60 people get promoted at one time.
Wow. Well, wouldn't you say that people are retiring now more than they used to as fast as they can?
Yes.
Because of the climate.
Yes. A lot of times people, as soon as they find out that they can retire, they are out.
Yes.
Unfortunately, politics has made its way into law enforcement. This, what I call wokeism, unfortunately has made its way into law enforcement. And if you don't think it's here, it's here. And it's causing a lot of people, you get someone who's a supervisor of you who is what I call woke. They critique you, they supervise you in a way that I feel like you shouldn't be supervised. They police you in a manner that they keep up with what you post on Facebook. They keep up with how you feel about politics. They keep up with your ideology, things that we were never policed on, and they hold you accountable to. And it's just a world that we live in, and it is running a lot of good people out of law enforcement.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But it's everywhere. It's not just law enforcement. It's working at school. It's working at your local grocery store, convenience store.
Yeah.
People will hold your viewpoints against you now more so than ever.
Yeah.
And in law enforcement, just like that.
Sure. And would you agree that the mentality now is to get in, do your duty on the street, move up as fast as you can, because, again, of the climate, you want to get a desk job, or you want to get in investigations, or you want to get in what do you call it, this internal affairs.
Or any
Or
specialized
you want to
position.
get in firearms.
Mhm.
The guy I'm talking about just was promoted to firearms. He does firearms training for Rocky Mount. So wouldn't you agree that people are trying to get off the street as fast as they can, the officers?
Yeah, because they don't want to deal with the public.
Right. They don't want to, I mean, it's a big safety hazard now. Bigger safety hazard. It's always been. But, you know, you never know now when you stop a car. I mean, wow. So,
Well, that's where complaints come from too, is dealing with the public.
yeah.
You know, if you have a position with the patrol teaching, or you have a position at Rocky Mount and you're a firearms instructor, or you have a position over EMTs at your agency, okay, you're not dealing with the public. There's not going to be any complaints coming in and putting you through unnecessary investigations and things like that, harassing you, ruining your name and reputation in a given community. It's just not going to happen. When you're out here on the front lines, making hard, split-second decisions where people are second-guessing what you did and well, you should have done that different. You should have, you should have give them the benefit.
Yeah.
Your pictures on Facebook and the community is, just chastising you. People are like, the heck with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's the
Absolutely.
people who can't get promoted. They're like, peace out. I tried this for 5 years. Let somebody else
Yeah.
have a taste of it.
That's exactly right.
It's called career survival.
I would say. Okay, well, it's time to go to break, our first break. We're just chit-chatting this morning about things going on and about law enforcement. That's what we talk about on here all the time, is law enforcement. And, of course, we'll be back and talk about some cases right after this. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the K-Files. Okay, well, we're going to, JP is going to present you with another case this morning, present us with another case this morning, and hopefully listen up so we can get some tips. Remember, we have $15,000 that we can pay out, up to $15,000, cash money, y'all. If you know anything, it's anonymous. If you know anything about the cases that we're about to talk about, or any other case that we've talked about or is still outstanding, you can please contact the number on the bottom of the screen, or Twin County Crime Stoppers, like we always tell you, or text a tip in Rocky Mount if it's a Rocky Mount case. So please contact somebody, because we need to get people off the street and give closure to families. Okay.
This is also a missing person case. We've talked about it a few times. Isabel Calvo Palacios. This case is from August 4th, 2015. On August 4th, 2015, Isabel Calvo Palacios was reported missing to the Wilson Police Department. The investigation led investigators to 4710 Ward Boulevard, which later led to the arrest of Gregory Kent Parks. On November 15th, 2017, a Pitt County grand jury found Gregory Kent Parks guilty of first-degree murder by the commission of attempting second-degree rape and by the commission of second-degree kidnapping, as well as guilty of first-degree kidnapping, obtaining property by false pretenses, and obtaining the status of a habitual felon. However, the body of Isabel Calvo Palacios has never been located. Palacios' photograph and other information are available online at findthemissing.org. Rarely do you get any type of, I guess you would say, it's hard to find somebody guilty of a crime when bodies are not present.
When you don't have the body.
That's rare. That is extremely rare that happened in Pitt County.
Yes.
That he was arrested and found guilty. I mean, according to this anyway, that he was found guilty. So apparently they're looking for information to the whereabouts of where her body might be.
Right.
Um,
Well, he's not telling,
no.
is he? He's not telling.
Mm-mm.
So if anybody has any idea, you know he talked to somebody. He talked to somebody. Somebody out there knows where this lady is buried, thrown, you know, whatever. So first degree murder, that should make you mad right there. First degree murder by the commission of attempted second degree rape and by the commission of second degree kidnapping. Guilty of first degree kidnapping. I mean, terrible. So if anybody knows anything, please come forward.
And again, if anybody wants any additional information on this particular case and others, www.findthemissing.org.
I'm going to have to go to that. I
I am
want to.
too.
I want to see that. I want to check that out. So go there and it's the NamUs website. I've heard a lot about NamUs with law enforcement. Some of the people from Rocky Mount talked about it one time before. So anyway, okay. The next case is a very popular case that can be solved. It can be solved. I've heard this so many times about this case. Linda used to say that. So let's hear about Tammy Grady.
Tammy Grady. This case is from November 28th, 2019. Tammy Grady was reported missing by her family. Her date of disappearance is listed as November 28th, 2019. However, Tammy had not been in contact with her family for a week prior to that. It is possible that she went missing before the November 28th date. Her sister, Christy Ruffin, had last spoken to Tammy by phone on 11/23/2019 at 11 o'clock. Tammy has not contacted anyone in her family since that time, namely her sister Christy or her younger brother Horace, who she maintains almost daily contact with. There have been no transactions on her EBT card since November 23rd, 2019, nor has there been any activity on Tammy's social media, which was extremely unusual. Websites like Facebook and others. They were her primary way of communication. Tammy was using the cell phone of Dario Santos, whom she had recently started staying with at 806 Elvie Street South in Wilson. Santos advised shortly after midnight Tammy left with Patrick Highsmith to go to a local motel, the Heart of Wilson, located at 501 Nash Street West in Wilson. I believe that's across from like the Western Sizzler. Neither of these men have been named a suspect at this point. Tammy's sister, Christy Ruffin, has been begging the public for answers in her disappearance. She has accepted the fact that Tammy may have been hurt, but just wants to know where she is so that she can be in peace. There have been tips on her disappearance, and Wilson Police Department is working on those tips. Grady is 5'4", weighs 120 pounds, and has brown hair and blue eyes. Is this the case where the taxi driver had some information and unfortunately I think he's since passed? And
Yeah, she supposedly left the Heart of Wilson in a taxi. I mean, that was seen. Taxi driver to go to a party, supposedly.
was that down like in Kenley or?
Somewhere like that. It seems like I remember Kinley or Lucama or somewhere.
okay,
I think you're right. And and to go to a party, and the cab driver, I mean, you know where you dropped somebody off. The cab driver said, "I forgot where I took her." Now, really? I mean, you don't do that. So I don't know what was up. But anyway, the cab driver passed away. And he was a big hope. Even though they couldn't get anything out of him, they were hoping to one day, I guess, detectives. But he passed away. So, I mean, that was that. But she apparently went to a party, and that was the last that was seen of her. And supposedly, I think Lyndall might have said, or I don't know if it was Lyndall or not, but on this show we talked about the person that was at the party was a male that he is, I think he's one of the suspects.
There's
and
so
probably
many,
did something with her.
There's so many people in this
It
that
is.
could have offered up, I mean, just a sliver
Yes.
of information that could have already brought this case to a close.
Well, her sister that it mentions, Christy Ruffin, came on this show, and she pleaded and she cried, because this is another one of those cases where the family knows right away something's wrong because they talked to their loved one. Tammy talked to Christy, her brother, I forgot his name.
Horace.
Horace, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to them almost every day, daily. So when you talk to a loved one daily and all of a sudden for 4 days, nothing.
You know something's wrong.
No activity on the Facebook page. I mean, phone not being used for 4 days. Debit card not being used. You just know that something is going to miss. So anyway, that's what she said on the show. She said, no, we talked every day. So anyway, if you know anything, and there are people that know about this case, absolutely know about this case. You do know about this case. It will be anonymous. You need to come forward. You need to bring closure to Christy and her family, and you need to, let's bring this case to a close. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and take a break since it's 8:35, and we'll be right back with you right after this with some more cases. And welcome back to the K-Files. Okay, we'll get started with some more cases here. Well, Joyce Renee Durham, we just don't hardly have anything.
No. That Joyce Renee Durham case is literally what? One sentence. That case is from June 17th, 2007. The only thing that we have is that Joyce Durham was reported missing and from Rocky Mount.
Yeah. That's all we know.
That's it. 2007, was that during the time with the what they call was the Bridges serial? Killer?
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, it was during that 2007 period. Yeah. Wow. And this was a Rocky Mount case.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask. I'm going to flag this, and we're going to ask Rocky Mount Police Department when they come, or ahead of time. Maybe they can talk about this a little bit to see if it might have been. If they think it might have been one of
I'd love to know that. Yeah.
Seven Bridges case.
We can ask Sergeant Joyner.
Yeah.
The next case here, and we've got pretty good bit of information on this one. I believe it was a Franklin County case. Roger Wade Askew Kojak was the brother of Kimberly Hancock, who was charged in the murder of Debbie Deans, who went missing 15 years ago. After a tip to fighting crime, Debbie Deans' body was found behind the residence of Kimberly K. Privet Hancock in a shallow grave among trash and other debris back in October 2019. Hancock was charged with first-degree murder the same day. Hancock was also arrested in 1989 and arrested for manslaughter after killing her father. He was shot in the face while he slept. She spent less than a year in prison for that crime, as she had claimed that her father had abused her. There's been much speculation around the disappearance of Roger Wade Askew, known to some as Kojak, since Hancock's arrest. Many believe that Kojak knew about his sister killing Debbie Deans and that she feared he would tell authorities, so she killed Kojak. There has also been speculation that his body is buried under a cement slab somewhere in Franklin or Nash County. There has been no hard evidence of either of these stories. Someone knows what happened to Kojak. The disappearance of Roger Askew is a Franklin County case.
Now, this is the case that was on TV on the show Debbie Deans and all of that, on the recent show that
Skeet.
yes, Skeet told us about.
Okay.
This is the brother of the Debbie Deans. So they think she killed.
They think Kimberly Hancock.
Yes. Yes.
Well, based on her criminal history, murder, manslaughter, it looks like, based on her past behavior patterns, she would definitely be my top suspect.
See, he probably knew what she had done to Debbie Deans, and so she had to get rid of him too. But they talked about potentially in the show her being the suspect of this murder as well. They talked about that briefly. So anyway, if you know anything about Kojak, Roger Wade Askew from 2009, this case is so complex. If you saw the Oxygen channel and watched this, then you knew that it was, and they did a good job. They did a really good job. The producers of that program did a really good job with this case. But anyway, if you know anything about Kojak missing, they think he's buried under a cement slab in in Nash or Franklin County, but where under a cement slab?
See, for them to even have that information, it makes you almost certain that they've got a tip.
Yeah. Somebody's told them that.
Somebody's told them that.
Yeah. So why didn't they tell them where it was?
Yeah.
Or if they knew.
Yeah.
Well, if you know anything about this case, Franklin County case, Nash County was involved by virtue of Debbie Deans was involved in it also. So if you know anything, call this number, 406-6736. Call Crime Stoppers, call the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, Nash County Sheriff's Office, whoever you've got to call, but call somebody.
If you know something, say something.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. This next case is just a shame to me that it had to happen the way it did, but we've talked about this many times, but we're going to talk about this again.
Jaleesa Reynolds. This case is from February 22nd, 2010. Jaleesa Reynolds. No one has seen or heard from Jaleesa Reynolds since she went to the library in Scotland Neck on February 22nd, 2010. She logged off her Facebook account around lunchtime. At 1:40 p.m., she logged in again from a home computer along Cemetery Road. Reynolds didn't have a home computer, and friends say that she would go to the library almost every day just to use the internet and access Facebook. Jaleesa was normally shy, but was more outgoing to people that she had met online. A massive search was conducted, and several other searches have been conducted over the years. Agencies and volunteers from across the state have been involved in these searches and turned up nothing.
Well, in this case, there's more to this I wish we could get, but the person's house that she went to, when she went to the house, not the library, the house, to use someone's computer, they do suspect that he had something to do with this. And that was somebody she met online. Folks, my advice is no, but if your child has to go to the library to get online, you're not going to be able to trace it. If they have a computer at home, you better know who your child's talking to online. You better know who they're talking to, because this is prime example right here. It's probably more than likely somebody she met on the internet.
Guarantee you.
Probably more than likely the man's house that she was at. So, and at one time we even they do know that it was on Cemetery Road that the man lived, so they knew. I forgot how they found out who it was, but we had more detail on this at one time.
The IP address, there
Yeah.
you can
Yeah, I
track
guess
that
so.
IP address right to a residence. The internet
Yeah.
service provider right to a specific address.
Well, then that's how they did it probably, and so anyway, now she's missing. So, and again, without a body, it's tough. It's really tough. So anyway, well, that's all for today. Probably next week we'll be back with you with more cases. Don't forget, Team Cold Case is an umbrella with the K-Files being under that umbrella. The K-Files show, we hope you watch. You can watch on YouTube. You can watch here, right here. You can watch you can watch on Thursday morning, but you can also watch on Friday night. If you missed it, if you want to see it again, you don't go to YouTube. Watch on Friday night at 7 o'clock. We play it again. So please, if you know, and encourage, if you know somebody that knows something about a crime and they've talked to you and they said, I know, but I don't want to tell, please encourage them to come forward. We need to solve these murders, and we need to get people off the street, and we need to bring closure to families. $15,000 is at stake here. Up to $15,000 we will pay you in cash. So that's how it works. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you, JP.
Yes, ma'am. See y'all next week.
Have a great day, everybody.